Each time that I've had them come to a class, there's never been a time in which somebody hasn't come and said, you know, I've appreciated some of the things that they've said, and it's like been a great insight into my own life and a great insight into like my struggles with mental illness or what have you.
Okay, so we are really excited to be able to do this, because our main goal or mission statement or whatever is to really spread that news. The good news is that they're healing. Okay, so with as much as horrible things that we have been through, we're able to do this. And Patricia's been able to write 2 wonderful books about her story, and it's amazing. I've read her story twice. So to just kind of spread the word. I mean, how many of you guys even heard about NAMI, Utah, the National Anti-Mental Illness? You have. I think we need to get the word out for people, because really this is a place where people can come and get the help that they need. A lot of times they don't find that help, and so we like to reach out, and especially, do you guys happen to know what the ratio is of people being depressed in our country? It's almost 1 out of every 3. 1 out of every 3. And so many people have never heard about NAMI. So talk about this with your friends and people, especially who might be depressed. So anyways, we'll just get right down to it. So today we're going to be talking about the 4 stages of overcoming loss, which is a very general rule of thumb. The power of human touch is my favorite. The bug zapper tool, and this is Patricia's, she loves this one, so she's good at it too, it's good. Then we're going to talk about the F word, forgiveness. How to transform 10 minutes into positive energy if you have an extra 10 minutes in your day. This is what we'll talk about. The power of a ponder page. You should have all this information. And actually, I don't know which one you got. Sometimes we're a little disorganized. But it should be the one with the people putting up their thumbs. If not, do you guys all have this one?
And I'll put these up on the board too. These 8 terrific tools.
Come on up front and get some papers.
Okay, so, and then the last thing is going to be,
If you don't have a ticket, you'll need to come have a ticket too.
yeah, thanks for doing that, Gary. That's
Okay.
how we do everything.
Last couple of them.
And the last thing we're going to talk about is our pilot light, our inner pilot light. So I'm going to let you ponder on that one for a while. See what you think about that. So
We get one part of that. They
I
get the other
understand.
one.
Did you tell them what NAMI is the acronym for?
the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Did I not say that?
I did.
Thank you. Yes. National Alliance on Mental Illness.
Who else didn't get one?
We get lots of people that call us and need help.
What are they?
Maybe towards the end I'll talk more about NAMI and more about the resources. Does that sound good? Is everybody good with that? Okay, let's do it.
Well, Tara,
I love
tell
you.
him. Oh,
Should I go first?
Tell him a little bit about yourself.
A little
more, Tara.
bit? Just a little bit? Oh, I wish I did. Okay.
She's awesome.
So-
She's wonderful.
Yes, okay, enough said. So, how much do you want to know? I've been hospitalized 13 times, diagnosed 9 different diagnoses, and the biggest thing I want you to know about me is that I come from a place of complete, utter despair, a mess, for years not seeing a way out. Really, life was not fair for me. And all my friends I graduated from high school, they were having babies and getting married. Well, getting married and having babies. And this was just not fair. It's taken a while. But you know what? It's taken 20 years. Matter of fact. But it's not all of a sudden after 20 years, all of a sudden, wow, you're there. No, it was a journey, a small step in those 20 years. And one morning I woke and I thought, I am genuinely happy. And I feel joy every single day of my life now. I think life is fair. So, 5-step kids. If any of you want to date a 33-year-old that hasn't been on a date in 10 years, I have none. I love my kids, my stepkids. One of my favorite things to do is dance. I get the opportunity once in a while to teach at Gold's Gym. I teach hip hop, and we're going to get into that more. But anyway, so that's me.
Okay, just a little bit about me. My name is Patricia Potts, and we have 5 children, 4 biological daughters and 1 adopted son. And we have 14 grandchildren, so that keeps us busy. The reason why I do what I do, how I even got involved in this, is because when I was in my mid-20s, I fell into a very severe 3-month-long depression, and ended up, through the recovery of all that and so forth, I ended up writing a couple of books. Because I didn't have anybody that really had been there, done that, to help me when I was going through it. And so I wanted to be able to do that, as Carrie does. So what else about me? We have 2 dogs, and one of them drives me crazy, my son's dog. Oh my goodness, I have 3 gates up in my kitchen because she kind of drives me crazy. But, and I love to play guitar, and I love a hammock. I have a hammock on my deck, and I really love that. We'll talk a little bit more about things that we enjoy doing, but that's a little bit about me. Oh, yeah, let me tell you a little bit about one of my very favorite tools that I ever learned. And I came across this tool after having gone through this very severe depression that I mentioned in my mid-20s. And I went through this 3-month dysfunctional depression. I had left my home because I just realized that I couldn't be perfect. And so I did that, and when I was during that 3-month depression, I went to a seminar where I was taught at that time the 3 stages of overcoming loss. A counselor, a therapist was the one that taught to us, and she said this, and it's had a profound effect on my life, not just in overcoming depression, but in overcoming brain tumor surgery, in overcoming being in and out of a wheelchair for about 18 months. It has totally helped me, and I hope it helps you as much as it's helped me. Anyway, when I went through my depression, I was in denial, mostly not because I was depressed, because I was so severely dysfunctionally depressed that I laid in bed day after day and just wished that I could die at that time. But my denial was probably more along the lines that I thought I could make things work the way they were before I left my home. And that's a whole story that's in my book, and I've written that. But I think that as we each come to losses and we recognize it as a loss, ask ourselves, the first stage is denial. Am I denying this? You might have lost somebody. Somebody might have died. And you may still be in the denial stage. My daughter lost her grandson 2 years ago tomorrow.
Her son.
And my grandson, her son, yes. And she still sometimes, thinks that she's going to wake up and he's going to be there. So, number 2, and as she described it, these are 3 stages that have to happen like as though you're going through a tunnel. You go through the one, you go through the next one, and then that leads you to the next one. And number 2 is acceptance, accepting things the way they are. If you're going through a depression, being able to say, okay, I'm going through a depression. I need to be evaluated. If you're going through, like I was in that wheelchair in and out for 18 months, my acceptance was accepting that before I could go further. So in your life, and you evaluate your losses, acceptance is critical to your recovery, is being able to accept the way things are. Not like the way you think they should be. Well, the third thing she taught us that day was rebuilding. And she used a story, and it really helped me understand what she was trying to say. She said, rebuilding is not replacing. And she talks about a widow who loses her husband. And so she has a choice. She can either just go out and replace him with somebody else, or she can become an independent widow, take care of herself, become the best person she can, and rebuild her life. Now, she may eventually remarry, but she has to go through those 3 stages: denial, acceptance, and rebuilding. And Nami adds a 4th one, which is eventually serving and helping other people over. And for some reason, the thing that comes to my mind is the woman who got her arm bit off with that snake, or that, shark. I knew it was a shark. Now what is she doing? She's surfing again, and she's helping other people with their own losses. So I hope that for always, from now on, forever, you'll remember these stages, because they will help you with no matter what you're facing. And who can tell me what the acronym is for these 4? It's on your handout, by the way. What?
DARE.
DARE. Yeah, DARE. Denial, acceptance, rebuilding, eventually serving. Okay.
Thanks, Patricia. That was wonderful. So, what happens to a baby? So you got this newborn baby, right? Maybe a few weeks old, a few months old, or whatever. If they don't get enough touch, what happens?
They die.
They can die. Yes. And even in fact, there was research on SIDS saying that babies, sometimes if they don't get enough love, they suffocate. And by love, I'm talking about touch, human touch, and that's what this next presentation is going to be about, human touch. Yes?
A lot of the children that come from the European countries that are brought over here, because they've been in cribs and they haven't had that touch, they never learn how to bond or to accept other people into their lives.
Exactly. And I have to have, and my husband knows this, I have to have a hug from him at least once a day. You know, I'll come home from work and I put my stuff down and I start cooking. I'm like, I need that right now in this moment. I need my husband to come and tell me that he loves me and give me a hug. You know, and I honestly, folks, and maybe you can relate to this, I was not raised in a very affectionate family. It was a pretty cold experience all growing up. So when I was old enough, when I was 12, well, I don't know what old enough is, but to have a boyfriend, I made up for all the touch and affection that I didn't get. And a lot of times that happens, and it's just that. In fact, I have a wonderful therapist who used to tell me, Carrie, we need that love and that affection from the time we're born. And if we don't get it and we're in a dysfunctional family, okay, we will do anything to get it. And sometimes that means self-medicating to make the pain go away, being promiscuous, okay, which is some of us have gone through. We have a hard time in relationships. We don't know how to function in an affectionate relationship. And it's taken me years, just like I say. You guys are probably thinking, oh my gosh, this woman, years and years and years. No. But it has, and it takes a while to heal all that. And that is so important. And I'll tell you, this is probably my second hospitalization. So I'm in the hospital, and the big thing is childhood sexual abuse. This big thing was coming out. This was back in '89. And the hospitals were full of women, mainly women, who their lives are falling completely apart. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to function. They don't know. So these hospitals are pretty full. And we used to have support group, and we talk about this. We would talk openly about our issues, and it was a really wonderful experience. Having panic attacks in the hospital was not uncommon. And there was a girl, we were sitting together in the television room, in the group room. And she's sitting next to me, and all of a sudden she has this panic attack. So she kind of curls up into a little ball, kind of like a baby, right? She curls up into a little ball, and she starts just getting it out, I guess is a good term for it. But I remember so well, it was this beautiful orange chair, and she was curled up in it, and I was on this couch next to her. And I don't know if it was an angel poking me over the shoulder or what it was, but as she was doing this, going through her panic attack, I put my hands on her head and I just started rubbing her head. Well, this panic attack lasted about 5 minutes, which seemed like about a half hour. Well, close to 5 minutes. She gets done. She sits up and she said, "Carrie, I cannot thank you enough." She said that made a world of difference while she was going through her panic. It made a world of difference to have somebody touch her and help bring it out of her. And so, I mean, what do? Do you get a job at a hospital and touch everybody that needs to? No, but you can take that with you. And I took that with me, and I believe in human touch. One more story for you, and this was back, my story is pretty crazy, back and forth and back and forth, but this one particular time, and this was another time in my life where I was feeling very suicidal. I would get up in the morning, put on my Levi's and my black t-shirt, and walk the streets hoping to get hit by a car. I was attending a singles ward at that time, as much as I could. And they decided to have this 24th of July celebration. And so we went to this building and walked up to the top. And while everybody else was oohing and ahhing over the fireworks, there's Carrie over in the corner going, "Boy, I want to jump. I can't do this anymore." So luckily the fireworks ended pretty shortly after that thought. And then I was told that there was going to be a party somewhere at somebody's house. And I thought, well, I'll just try to, I'll stay behind, with my hands in my pockets and go follow the crowd. That's basically what my intellect was at that time. So we get to the house, and here's Carrie holding up the wall with her drink. It was punch, mind you. I'm holding up the wall, and I just did not feel welcome at all. I mean, I could sense it. And because I do have schizophrenia, this was definitely not a delusion. Because when I went and sat my cup down and started to leave the room, I heard this wonderful voice that said, "That's a good idea, just leave. We don't want you here." After that moment, I said to myself, it's Saturday, the bank's open on Monday. I think I'm going to go to the bank and get all my money out, buy a gun, and I'm going to end it. This is it for me. I just can't do this anymore. So I'm walking home. I'm 11th East and 4th South, somewhere around there, and I'm walking home. And I heard this voice say, "Hey lady, come on over here." So I did. I walked over, and lo and behold, this man was from California. And he just started talking to me, and just with no judgment, no holds barred, just started talking to me about whatever, general things. And after talking for about 15 or 20 minutes, he said, "How would you like to come and meet some of my other friends?" And I kind of shyly said, "Okay, I'll come in." So I walk in where the doorway is, and this woman off to my right, I didn't know her from Eve, never seen her before in my life. And she looked at me in my eyes, and she grabbed me right here and right here, and she pulled me in, and I just let it go. And I swore there were 10 angels in that bathroom. It was so bright. And she sat me down in the toilet. She took the scrunchie out of my hair. My hair was pretty long at that time. And she took a brush, and she just started brushing my hair like a mother would her daughter. Something I never got. And she started brushing my hair. And she just kept repeating over and over, it's all good, it's all good, it's all good. And that night brought a good 3 months for me. And I always make it a point, now this isn't having to do with human touch, but I always make it a point that if I go to Walmart or Smith's or the mall or wherever, and I see somebody that mirrors what I was feeling then, I will go right up, maybe not right up to them as I pass and say, hi, how are you doing today? And a lot of times I get people go, oh, hi, I'm fine, you know. So, and I'm going to challenge, okay, so is it okay for men to need affection? Is it okay for men to need affection? Yeah, he's like, all right. Is it okay for men to need affection? It is. So, I'm going to challenge the men in here. If you need a hug, ask. I don't care if it's your mother, your wife, a friend, even a guy friend. Hey, guys hug all the time. And in the midst of, I know what it's like to go to school and work and be on your own, and I understand what that's like. But when my husband comes up to me and puts his arm around me, which isn't very often, he's kind of a little macho guy, and he'll kiss me on the cheek, and it's like, you know, and most of the time I do have to ask, but it's okay, you know. And so same with the women in here. If you need a hug, or even hug yourself, give yourself a good pat on the shoulder, because we all need it. We all are made from the same person that knows we need love and affection. So anyways, that's human touch.
Thanks, Carrie. Did we have somebody that was going to come in?
You know what? I think I did see her come in. So yeah, this next guest has lots of experience in depression and kind of those depressing thoughts and things that we do. And so I'm going to introduce you to Olga, I'm sure.
My name is Olga Unsure, because I think that others shun the way I look, the way I act. This causes great tension. When I wake in the morning, I feel pressured, I see red. Thoughts of home and school and work send me back to bed. My folks think I'm rebelling. My friends think I'm no fun. The thoughts inside my head shout loud, you're just a great big crumb. I wonder how I'll get through another day or two, 'cause hope has fled me, gone away. Now what shall I do? If only I could disappear. If only I could disappear.
Oh, goodness, okay.
Just a minute. Yeah. If only I could disappear. I doubt that they would know, 'cause I am weary. Yes, I am, from my head to my toes. She didn't do that last time. What got into her?
We're gonna have to have a talk with Olga. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'll tell you, I talked to Olga soon after she had all these thoughts, and I began teaching her how to do the bug zapper to help her feel a little bit better. This is what she said. Said I, Olga, what is bugging you? Because it seems like a lot is bugging you. One of which is a marker that doesn't work very good. Thank you! Will you throw that away? Oh, shoot. Okay, that's okay. All right, Olga, what is bugging you? And she said, well, I've got a lot of things that are bugging me. And I said, well, just tell me a few. She said, well, it bugs me that my folks think that, what? Look on your paper. What's the answer? My folks think
She's rebelling.
I'm rebelling, yeah. Okay, I said, and then she said, well, it bothers me that my friends think I'm no fun, and I'm always tired. And I said, okay, well that's enough to get started with, Olga. And let me ask you this. Let's look at these one at a time. And I said, okay, your folks think you're rebelling. Is that true? And she said, well, imagine that that's true. They seem like that. And I say, so what, you mean it's maybe true? Yeah, maybe that's true. I guess I don't know for sure. What about your friends? Do they really think that you're no fun right now? Well, I mean, I am no fun, so if I think that they think that. So you really just think that. So maybe they think that, but you don't know, because you're mind reading here. Yeah. So what about tired? Is that really true? Oh, yeah. That's true. I am tired. I'm tired a lot. Okay, fine. So then I say to Olga, I say, now we're going to do a talk back. We're going to see if we can help you with some of these thoughts and feelings. My folks think I'm rebelling. It's a maybe. Talking back. Then, what do you think, Olga? Well, they probably think I'm rebelling, but I'm not really rebelling. I'm just tired and depressed. I see. Okay, so what do you think you might do about that? Well, maybe I could tell them how I'm feeling. Maybe I could get